So, good morning, everyone. Today's topic is detailed analysis of sexual harassment at workplace and sexual harassment in media. Firstly, we will start with the introduction. That is, what is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment basically is an unwanted and offensive behavior of sexual nature that violates a person's dignity and makes them feel degraded, humiliated, intimidated, or threatened. It makes somebody feels so like mentally tortured or humiliated. Basically, it is the person on the receiving end of the behavior who decides whether or not it is unwanted or offensive, regardless of what the other person's intention is. Now we will start with the sexual harassment in media. Basically, sexual harassment in media is a very relationship driven industry where rewards in terms of money, visibility, and influence controlled by a few gatekeepers. Powerful media figures have abused their power in these ways because ultimately we find that sexual harassment is about power. Contrary to conventional wisdom, the CTI study found that financial services sector, a historically man-dominated industry, had the lowest reported rate of sexual harassment among women among the industries covered. Rashid said that could be because 3 decades ago, banking and finance companies were hit with numerous class action harassment lawsuits, and that appears to have led to a change in corporate policies and culture. Now, we will tell about the sexual harassment cost. The sexual harassment cost, the effects of sexual harassment at work are lasting and detrimental. Thinking about these effects in cost terms help us to understand that sexual harassment causes very real losses for all involved: the person being sexually harassed, the harasser, the media organization, and broader society. Here we are talking about cost in more than just money terms. Cost of harassed person, the person who is harassed uh, faced a lot of mental health issues, emotional and mental health issues, got behavioral changes, and got effects on career and financial issues. Now we'll talk about the cost of harasser, the person who harass. That person got a lot get a lot of social issues, career and financial issues, because what he had done, legal and criminal issues, and emotional and mental health issues as well. The cost of media, decreased productivity and quality of content, reputational damage, financial cost. Cost to society. Long-term rehabilitation cost for the reintegration of people who have experienced sexual harassment, unemployment welfare benefits, skills retaining cost, benefits for those who impaired working capacities, legal and criminal justice expenses, women discouraged from accessing high status and well-paid jobs, etc. Now we'll talk about sexual harassment at workplace. According to US Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, that is EEOC, sexual harassment in workplace is described as an inappropriate sexual advance, at comment, or quid pro quo. It can be of physical nature or verbal nature. Both the victim and the one who is doing the harassing can be either male or female. It is technically against the law for someone to sexually harass another person in the workplace or beyond. What amounts in place? One side places in office, newsroom, or on-set, off-site places in the field doing research and interviews, offline places, any digital platform used by employees to communicate with others in relation to their work. Work-related events, conferences, business trips, training sessions, etc. Social events organized by your organization. Categories of sexual harassment at workplace. A hostile environment is when someone's speech or behavior is so extreme that the person being harassed feels that their work environment is hostile, unpleasant, intimidating, threatening, or unsafe. This type of sexual harassment tends to happen as verbal and non-verbal sexual harassment, and sometimes even less of forms of physical harassment. It does not have to directed at an individual. It may be offensive to someone who is witness to the behavior. So creating an offensive atmosphere for one or more than people, such as watching pornography at your desk, putting up offensive posters and calendars, workplace banter, and jokes of sexist or sexual nature. Now we'll talk about quid pro quo. Quid pro quo, quid pro quo basically means a person is forced to submit to sexual harassment in return for employment benefits such as promotion, a pay rise, a big assignment, keeping their job, or a person's employment is affected when they reject or stand up to sexual harassment, such as being fired, demoted, or losing assignments. Quid pro quo harassment is often prohibited in our country's civil and criminal laws. Sexual harassment in India. The, the typically man-oriented workplace has been replaced by a large number of women getting employment in every possible field of work. This has given rise to a number of issues that affect the integrity of the woman and also have impact on the physical, mental, and social well-being of the woman. Nearly 88% of the female workplace in Indian information technology and business process outsourcing and knowledge process outsourcing companies reported having suffered some form of workplace sexual harassment during the course of their work, says a survey conducted by Transforming India, a non-governmental organization in the information technology and BPO KPO industries. The report says that about 50% women had been subjected to abusive language, physical contact, or being sought sexual favors from. As many as 47% employees did not know where to report, while 90% did not report for fear of being victimized. The study further revealed that there existed poor awareness levels among female employees on the issues. It further revealed that more than 82% of the incidents which could be classified as sexual incidents occurred outside the boundaries of the office, and nearly 72% of the incidents that perpetrator was superior. It was further found that 60% of the respondents were not aware of the workplace sexual harassment policies of the organization, and around 10% were only partially aware. Of all the respondents, 77% stated that the details of sexual harassment policies were not part of their hiring process, while only 7% stated that they could recollect some discussion about the topic either during their hiring process or later. Now we'll talk about legal position of sexual harassment. Each incident of sexual harassment at workplace result in violation of the fundamental rights to gender equality and the right to life and liberty, the two most precious fundamental rights granted by the Constitution of India. The contents of the fundamental rights granted in our constitution are the sufficient amplitude to encompass all facets of gender equality, including prevention of sexual harassment and abuse, and the courts are under a constitutional obligation to protect and preserve those fundamental rights. Sexual harassment of a female at the place of work is incompatible with the dignity and honor of a female and needs to be eliminated, and that there can be no compromise with such violation, and so on. Findings. Now we will talk about findings. People who have sexually harassed by a colleague by industry. The data. In industry, man and woman. Media, 41%, men. In media, women 41% and men 22%. In technology and telecommunications, 37% of women and 12% of men. In consulting and management, women are 36% and men are 20%, and so on. If we talk about other findings of women who have been harassed, 72% were harassed by someone more senior in their careers. 57% of men who have been harassed were harassed by their other men. 25% of body bombers, for 24% of Generation X's, and so on. Now we'll talk about comparative conclusion. It is concluded that sexual harassment is everywhere, but women face more sexual harassment in media organizations. As we can see from the above report analysis, the results confirm that the problem is unusually rampant in the media industry. This is high time and this should be stopped. New laws have been made especially to safeguard the rights of women and for their safety. The Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013 was passed to protect women from sexual harassment at their place of work. Thank you.